Have you ever considered that some nuts, often seen as healthy snacks, might actually harm your health over time, especially as you age? Many people over 60 make conscious efforts to improve their diet by reducing sugar, lowering salt intake, and swapping processed snacks for more natural options like nuts. However, the surprising reality is that not all nuts are beneficial for seniors. In fact, some of the most commonly consumed varieties could be quietly affecting your heart, kidney function, or blood sugar levels each day. This video uncovers 4 popular types of nuts that may actually be harmful to older adults, potentially shortening their lives without them even realizing it. If you're aiming to eat better and protect your health in your senior years, this is essential information. Understanding which nuts to limit and why can help you avoid unintended health issues and make smarter dietary choices. By the end of the video, you'll also learn about safer, more nourishing alternatives that support long-term wellness. These insights can play a vital role in maintaining your energy, health, and independence as you age. Let's dive in. Number 1. Macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are often celebrated for their rich, buttery taste and appealing appearance, whether in a snack bowl or mixed into trail blends. However, their smooth texture and flavor can mask a hidden health concern for seniors: a high content of saturated fat. Unlike heart-friendly unsaturated fats, saturated fats can elevate LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, which increases the risk of clogged arteries. This is especially concerning for older adults, whose cardiovascular systems are already more vulnerable due to age-related changes like stiffening blood vessels, slower metabolism, and decades of circulatory wear and tear. Consuming macadamia nuts regularly may seem like a small indulgence, but for aging individuals, it can contribute to gradual and silent cardiovascular damage. What makes it trickier is that macadamia nuts are often marketed as heart-healthy, which can be misleading. While small, infrequent servings might not pose a major risk, it's easy for portion sizes to increase unintentionally, particularly when nuts become a daily habit. Take, for example, Walter, age 78. He swapped his nightly cookies for a handful of macadamia nuts, thinking he was making a smart switch. His doctor initially approved, until a routine cholesterol check revealed a surprising spike. It turned out that his healthy snack was quietly contributing to high saturated fat intake, despite his good intentions. Macadamia nuts aren't inherently bad, but they are calorie-dense and high in saturated fat, more so, in fact, than certain cuts of red meat. For seniors focusing on heart health, that makes them a risky everyday choice. Instead, consider alternatives like almonds or walnuts. These nuts offer crunch and flavor while providing healthier fats, including omega-3s, which support rather than strain the heart. Your heart works tirelessly, especially as you age. Fuel it with choices that truly support its function, rather than foods that quietly work against it. Number 2. Salted and flavored peanuts. Peanuts may seem like a simple, harmless snack, something you grab without thinking during a chat with friends or while watching TV. But when those peanuts are coated in salt, barbecue seasoning, or honey glaze, they become much more than just a light bite. For older adults, especially those dealing with high blood pressure or kidney concerns, these flavored peanuts can pose serious health risks. What many people don't realize is how much sodium is packed into these tasty snacks. Some flavored peanut varieties contain just as much sodium per serving as a full bag of potato chips. And unlike the salt you sprinkle on your food, where you're aware of how much you're adding, the sodium in processed nuts is baked in, making it harder to monitor. This hidden salt can quietly accumulate in your diet, putting extra strain on your cardiovascular system. For seniors, excess sodium can be especially dangerous. It causes blood vessels to tighten and retain fluid, leading to elevated blood pressure. This added pressure forces the heart to work harder, which can result in fatigue, leg swelling, shortness of breath, and an increased risk of stroke or heart failure over time. And salt isn't the only issue. Many flavored peanuts contain additives like artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and flavor enhancers. These ingredients can irritate the digestive system, increase inflammation, and potentially worsen chronic health conditions, especially in older adults whose bodies are more sensitive due to age or medications. Take Marlene, for example. At 74, she always had a jar of mixed peanuts, salted, honey-roasted, and full of flavor, next to her recliner. It was her regular go-to snack for years. But slowly she began noticing signs of trouble. Her ankles started to swell, she felt unusually tired, and her blood pressure crept higher despite no change in her medication. It wasn't until a dietitian took a look at her pantry that the real issue came to light. Her favorite snack was flooding her body with excess sodium and chemicals. Flavored peanuts might taste great and seem like a harmless habit, but for aging adults, they can silently chip away at overall health. If you enjoy peanuts, opt instead for unsalted, dry roasted versions and stick to moderate portions. Even better, pair them with a balanced diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods. As we age, our daily eating choices carry more weight. Snacks that seem small can either quietly support our well-being or slowly contribute to health problems. Choosing the right versions and watching portions makes all the difference. Number 3, bitter almonds. Out of all the nuts available, bitter almonds may be the most hazardous, particularly for older adults. Though they resemble sweet almonds in appearance, their chemical composition is drastically different. Bitter almonds contain natural substances that release cyanide when digested, the same toxic compound used in some poisons. While bitter almonds aren't typically found in mainstream U.S. grocery stores, they can appear in certain imported products, homemade recipes, or mislabeled health foods from international markets. This is where the danger increases for seniors. As we age, our bodies become more vulnerable to toxins. Digestion slows and both kidney and liver function often decline. This reduced ability to filter harmful substances means that even a small amount of something toxic, like cyanide, can have a much more severe impact on an older person than on someone younger. Cyanide poisoning from bitter almonds isn't just theoretical, it has occurred. Symptoms may include nausea, dizziness, shortness of breath, and in severe cases, seizures or even death. One of the most alarming things is that bitter almonds don't come with clear warnings. Most people don't realize they're dangerous until they start feeling the effects. Consider Albert, age 81, who purchased what he believed were natural almonds from a local international market. The packaging was labeled in a foreign language, and he didn't think much of it. After snacking on them for several days, he began feeling lightheaded, nauseous, and extremely fatigued. Concerned, his daughter took the bag to a pharmacist who identified them as bitter almonds, something never meant to be consumed raw, especially not regularly. This situation highlights a common mistake, assuming natural means safe. Many older adults are moving away from processed foods in favor of more traditional, whole ingredients, believing them to be better choices. But bitter almonds are a clear exception to that rule. If you ever come across almonds with a sharp, bitter taste, spit them out immediately and discard the rest. Always read product labels carefully, especially when buying from international or unfamiliar sources. A product that looks like something familiar can sometimes be something very different and far more dangerous. Your age doesn't diminish the value of your health and safety. Staying informed and cautious with your food choices, especially unfamiliar ones, is an important step in protecting your well-being. Number 4, candied and honey-roasted nuts. Candied and honey-roasted nuts are undeniably delicious. They have that perfect sweet crunch and are often marketed as a healthier alternative to traditional desserts like cookies or pie. However, for older adults, especially those who need to manage their blood sugar levels, these seemingly innocent treats can pose a hidden threat. What many don't realize is just how much added sugar is packed into a small serving of these nuts. The glossy coating isn't just for appearance. It's a thick layer of processed sugars, often combined with syrups and glazes, that make these nuts highly addictive. For seniors, this sugary coating can have serious consequences. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating blood sugar. Even if you're not diabetic, your insulin sensitivity may decline, making it easier for your blood sugar to spike and more difficult to bring it back down. Over time, this can lead not only to unwanted weight gain, but also an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Additionally, elevated blood sugar levels worsen inflammation and place extra strain on vital organs like the heart and kidneys. Unlike traditional sweets that people might enjoy occasionally, candied nuts tend to sneak into daily routines. They might be casually sprinkled on salads, left in jars on kitchen counters, or served at social gatherings where it's easy to mindlessly snack on handfuls. This subtle presence is what makes them so dangerous. They don't feel like a dessert, but they act like one once inside your body. Take Lorraine, for example, a 76-year-old who believes she was making a healthier choice by swapping her after-dinner cookies for honey-glazed pecans. Over time, she started feeling more fatigued after meals, experienced dry mouth at night, and had trouble concentrating. A blood test showed her A1C, a marker of average blood sugar, had quietly risen into the pre-diabetic range. The only change in her diet was the addition of these sweetened nuts. It's important to remember that it's not just the sugar causing harm. These flavored nuts often contain stabilizers and other additives that your body doesn't need. These chemicals can irritate the digestive system, interfere with proper digestion, and even contribute to insulin resistance. Nuts in their natural, unprocessed form are among the healthiest foods you can eat. But once coated in sugar, they lose those benefits and become much closer to candy. And candy, no matter how natural it looks, should be an occasional indulgence, not a daily habit. If you're finding this information helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Now let's move on. Final thoughts. Let's take a moment to reflect on how many of these 4 types of nuts might have quietly found their way into your pantry or daily habits. You likely chose them with good intentions, believing they were healthier alternatives to chips or cookies. However, as we've explored, not all nuts are equally beneficial, especially once you reach your 60s, 70s, or 80s. This isn't meant to cause alarm, but to raise awareness. Our bodies change with age, and things that once seemed minor, like extra salt or an occasional sweet snack, can now have a significant impact on your energy, heart health, and overall well-being. The encouraging part is that you have the power to make better choices. By understanding which nuts to avoid and what healthier options to substitute, you can protect your health without sacrificing enjoyable foods. For example, swap macadamia nuts for almonds or walnuts and keep portions moderate. Instead of salted or flavored peanuts, opt for unsalted, dry-roasted varieties. Replace candied and honey-roasted nuts with natural ones, pairing them with fresh fruit if you crave sweetness. And when it comes to bitter almonds, it's best to avoid them entirely. These simple changes might not feel like a big deal at first, but over time, they add up. You'll likely notice steadier energy levels, improved heart function, better blood sugar control, and less hidden strain on your body. So here's a question to consider. What's one change you're ready to make today? Is there a snack you've depended on that might actually be causing more harm than good? Taking small steps now can make a big difference in maintaining your health and vitality as you age. Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below sharing one key takeaway and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating valuable content. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us continue delivering informative and inspiring videos. Thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.